Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Colleagues from ASEAN countries. I think we can start. Sorry for a few minutes of delay. As you have seen, this webinar is being recorded, and we will send the recording as soon as we finish this webinar. So let's start. A very good day from Milan. I am Filippo Gavazzini, head of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat. This is the third webinar, so I think now some of you knows us. I'm delighted to moderate again this third webinar, which is part of a series co-organized with the ASEAN Health Sector through the kind facilitation of the Health Division of the ASEAN Secretariat. This third webinar has the aim to present best practices from the network on the importance of developing a comprehensive and inclusive food system governance. If you remember, last time we talked about multi-level governance in developing food policies. We heard from FAO and we heard from Bangkok about the experience and the importance to develop a food strategy, a urban food strategy that involves the different layer, the different level of the government, also under the city, let's say the district, from the regional, the state, the national, but also the international level. So today we would focus our attention, and I will share the screen now, on the importance of involving the local stakeholder in developing and also in implementing a food strategy. I will share the screen. Okay, I think you can see it now. Okay, so for those who were let me start by presenting the title of this webinar, which is the Quadruple Helix of Innovation, the framework, which is a framework. It's a particular framework that Mr. Pius Sugeng Prasetyo from UNPAR University will tell us in few minutes. And also we will hear from Elisa Porreca, she's an officer of the City of Milan, how the food trace action canvas can be very helpful for you to develop a multi-stakeholder approach for healthier food system. And finally, we will hear from Mr. Chu Eng Seng, officer of the city of Seberang Perai in Malaysia, who together, let's say, a few months ago, we applied the food trace action canvas for the development of their food strategy. So you will hear, let's say, the theoretical part, but also the implementation of the Quadruple Helix of Innovation and the action canvas. So very quickly, for those who were not present in the previous webinars, the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact is a international agreement among now more than 270 mayors that are committed to transforming their urban food systems. The Secretariat established in Milan has this role of supporting cities in developing the food strategies and also developing and also implementing the food strategy. We have 37 recommended action, and this action can be clustered in the categories that you can see in the slide. So we try to give an holistic approach towards the food system, and then each city that signed the pact, each mayor can focus, depending on the political priority and the local context, on some specific aspect. To sign the pact is very easy. You don't have to pay any fees at any step of the process. And once you sign, you will have many opportunities to share and learn best practices and receive tailored support, as, for example, the city of Seberang Perai received some months ago. So let's continue. As you remember, some of you in the previous webinars, our primary tools are the 37 recommended action that I just mentioned, the 44 indicators, and the practices of the Milan Pact Awards, which is a collection of best practices that we use to transfer knowledge among the community. So let's now have a focus on the governance category. And in particular, these are the recommended action of the governance category. There are 6, but we will focus on some of them, the one related to the stakeholder involvement. So you can see, in particular, it's number 2. Of course, number 1 is fundamental, facilitate collaboration across cities, agency, and department, which is the key. But for the stakeholder is enhanced stakeholder participation at the city level through political dialogue and for example, create this political dialogue which can be moderated by a food policy advisor or a food policy officer that is established within the municipality in order for the stakeholder to have one, let's say, focal point within the administration. This is very important to make, let's say, to create order, because you know that the stakeholders are numerous in local food systems. So it's important to have a focal point, a unique focal point within the administration. So another important point is number 3, identify, map, and evaluate local initiative. So it's an effort, but it's worthwhile because you have to start with a mapping of the action of the civil society food movement in order to have an idea which are the stakeholders, what they are doing, how you can involve them in the implementation of the strategy. They are fundamental pillar in order to reach the goals that would be present in the food strategy. We saw this example in the last webinar with the inventory that the city of Bangkok, with our support, did in the last months in order to create their strategy. And then develop and improve multi-sectoral information system, number 5, by enhancing availability, quality, and quantity of data related to urban food system. Again, most of this data can come from your local stakeholder, and they can support you by giving share their data. You can just think about the food aid or the food aid. So there are many NGOs that are working on it, but it's difficult for municipality to know exactly how many people in need are going to be supported from one NGOs on another NGOs. This is just an example. So these are the recommended action, and this is the governance indicator. As you know, quite each of the recommended action has a governance indicator, and in this case, we have the presence of an active multi-stakeholder food policy, number 2, and then presence of a municipal urban food policy or action plan that can also involve the stakeholder of the city, presence of an inventory of local food initiative and practices. This is just what we talk about with the experience of Bangkok, and you will hear very soon at the end of this webinar also about the experience of Seberang Perai. We were there and we see how the city of Seberang Perai was able to invite the most important stakeholder to start drafting, and so involving since the very beginning the stakeholder in the development of their strategy. Well, in the QR code here, you can also download the indicators. And finally, you have an evaluation mechanism that allow cities to collect and assess the data, both coming from inside the municipality or from outside, from the stakeholders. Let me conclude by saying that you can download at this in this QR code the report of the Milan Pact Awards. In this report, you will find dedicated focus on governance as well as good best practices on in governance, but also in other categories that shows you how important are are involving the stakeholders in a development of a food strategy. So let me now finish this introductory part, and I would like now to give the floor to Mr. Pius Sugeng Prasetyo from Parahyangan Catholic University of Bandung. He will tell us about the Quadruple Helix of Innovation, and let me also add that together, Pius, we have developed a very important LOI to create a center of excellence in Asia Pacific on urban food policies. So we are particularly happy to have you today. So Pak Pius, silakan.
Yeah, thank you very much. Do you hear me, Filippo? To check the.
Yeah,
is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then may I share? Do you see the screen?
No, not yet. Belum.
Okay, moment. I have already sent it actually.
Do you want us to share the presentation, Pak Pius?
Yes, I shared the presentation. Do you see it? Did you?
No.
Not yet. Oh, I don't know. I've already shared actually.
We can share we will share the presentation for you. So if you want to start now, you will have the presentation shared by us in a few seconds. Okay, we are sharing your presentation. Please go ahead.
But I cannot see here. I don't know. I cannot see.
Yeah, we can see your presentation. It's online now.
Oh, but I cannot see. But okay. I also open. Okay. Let me start the presentation. That first of all, I have to say thank you very much for this opportunity, especially our collaboration between MUFPP, Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, and in Bandung City, and of course especially with my university, Parahyangan Catholic University. And this is my happiness to share our experiences in terms of how to conduct, how to improve, how to engage in the issue of food. The title of this presentation is the Quadruple Helix of Innovation Framework to Develop Food Policy in Bandung. And okay, next, please. Let me first start with the information, very short information concerning the context of Bandung City. Yeah? So, as you know that Bandung City is a metropolitan city which surrounded by several districts or cities around Bandung. And Bandung has a dependency, especially more than 90% on food from the surrounding area. So I think this is a typical big city that there is no area in order to plan the, especially the food. But we do something that I will explain for in the next presentation. And another thing is that people, especially in the middle class, have the potential to consume excess food. As you know that Bandung is a big city and there are a lot of middle class people and they have the capacity to buy food, a lot of food. But of course, it will create problem. And another things that you have to know is that Bandung has a high standing rate, around 24.40%, especially in 2021 and in 2022. There's a decreasing. It's good that there is a decreasing standing rate around 21%. The resources coming from the health ministry. And of course, the positive thing that I have to highlight, especially in order to support the food resilience in Bandung, that there is a strong enthusiasm, especially from the Bandung people, in order to create, to develop what we call it buruansai. Buruansai is a Sundanese term that means about urban farming. So we have a special term. Okay, next, please. Yeah, just my perception of Quadruple Helix is that this is a kind of collaborative approach that involves four main actors. Yeah, this is government, industry, or business sector, and then academia, especially university, and of course the civil society, in domestic civil society, or also of course international civil society. And they are working together to create innovation and address the complex challenges. In the context of developing food policies in Bandung City, Indonesia, this framework would apply as follow. Next, please. Yeah. So that the government might consult with business players and academician or university to understand the latest trends or technology and best practices in the food sector. And then what is the role of the academician? That they could conduct research to identify innovative solution to local food challenges and collaborate with industry and of course the civil society to implement. And about the role of business sector or industry, that they could invest or support in research and development, as well as collaborate with local farmers. Of course, in Bandung City, this is not real farmers, but support the people and producer to improve production methods and supply chains. And the role of civil society is that they can provide valuable feedback and advocate for policies that address the needs and concern of the local population. Okay, next, please. So I will explain concerning each actor. There are four actors, and then I will explain each actor. So the actor of government, especially the government of Bandung City. The government of Bandung City plays a crucial role in setting policies and regulation related to food production, distribution, and consumption. They are working on creating an enabling environment for innovation in the food sector by providing necessary resources, incentives, and infrastructure, especially in supporting urban farming, what we call it Puruansai. So as you know that, I think the Bandung government, especially the Department of Food Resilience and Agriculture, the DKPP, have a really crucial and very important role in these things, especially in order to support the food security in the city. And beside that, I think the important thing, the reason important thing, especially in the role of the government, is that they initiate the process of local regulation. We call it peraturan daerah of city food security by engaging multi-actors in Bandung. So what the picture here, me and Mr. Gingin, just to show that this is the process of focus group discussion that we discuss about the policy. So I think this is a very good step for the government in order to make a kind of legal umbrella. Yeah? So means that the movement of, let's say, in order to support the food resilience, city food resilience will be covered by the policy. Of course, we are still waiting to the plenary session of local parliament in order to legalize or to make a kind of decision, the last decision of this policy. But this is a very good step for the Bandung city. Okay, next, please. And we are also working with the industry. Yeah, we are working with the industry means that especially the private sector, including food producer, processor, distributors, and retailers, will be responsible for developing innovative technologies, products, and services in the food industry. And they may collaborate with the government on initiatives such as supporting local farmers with the people, and also implementing sustainable practices and creating new food products tailored to local preferences and needs. The picture here I want to show that now we are working with the industrial sector. As you know that the first picture here is the building here is the hotel, the Mercure Hotel, means that now we connect the people to the hotel. It means that the people of, especially who engage in urban farming, can send the product to the hotel, especially the vegetable. And also here, we call it Kusen or Gojek here, means that now we are still working with the Gojek, the big industry, in order to make a kind of food sharing application. That this application will, hopefully in a very short time will be executed, will be applied in order to make easier the food accessibility, especially for those who has the difficulty to access food. So we work with the industrial sector, especially in the Gojek or Gosen here, making a collaboration to make food sharing. Yeah, next please. And what about the role of the university, especially my university, Parahyangan Catholic University, that universities and of course research institution and education in Bandung would contribute by conducting research, generating the new knowledge and providing expertise on various aspects on the food system. focus on the area of like system and nutrition education. So as you know that we have already published the 3 documents, 3 books here, as you seen here, as you see here that there are 3 books. This is the product of our, especially in the university, my colleagues, based on our research. So research on consumption, research on production, and also research on urban farming. So this is the product, and hopefully this publication can give the, let's say, inspiration or ideas to the government or for those who has concern on the issue of food. Besides that, we are doing the piloting of the healthy school canteen from the elementary school. Yeah. So now we are doing, yeah, and we are really have a strong concern on the issue of healthy school canteen. So, okay. And yeah, and I think now we are talking about next slide, please. And yeah, what about the role of civil society? We are working, of course, together with other actors who has concern on the issue of food. In this case, we are working, for example, with the local NGOs. Of course, we work with some local NGOs here, and now still doing. And of course, the international NGOs like, yeah, of course, MUFPP, Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. Now, thank you very much for Filippo Serena and other colleagues from Milan Urban Food Policy Pact that we can, yeah, working together in order to support the issue of to improve the issue of food, especially in Bandung City, and of course Ricolto. So until now we are still doing with Ricolto, yeah, doing some activities concerning the urban farming, concerning also with the media, and also in the school canteen. So I think it's a very good collaboration and fruitful and so meaningful collaboration if we are working together, yeah, that of course together with the government and business sector. So I think we can make it together. So, and then of course the yeah, the last picture is that this is the impact. The impact the next slide, please. The last picture that this is the impact of collaboration that we can organize the event of G20 and Urban 20 and supporting by MUFPP and also Ricolto and other organization, of course, the government of Bandung and also the governor of West Java together here organizing the G20 event, especially on Urban 20. And then the impact of, thank you very much for giving the award, the global award for Bandung City. And here the people that Filippo gave the present award to Mr. Gingin, the head of the Department of Food Security and Agriculture. So I think this is, yeah, a very good impact in order to show that our collaboration is really so meaningful and fruitful and giving the impact, yeah, and of course to the people. So I think, yeah, last slide. Thank you very much for this opportunity that hopefully that we can continue our collaboration, working together in order to make the condition much better. So thank you very much, Filippo and people. Thank you.
Terima kasih Pak Pius atas pemaparan Anda. Thank you so much. Very good to see also the activities that we have been carrying out together. And we will now move to the presentation from Elisa Purreka, but in the meantime, but Pius, you have already received some questions in the chat, so we will come back to you at the end of the presentation. And let's now then move to the presentation of our colleague Elisa Borreca, who is an officer of the City of Milan under the EU-funded Horizon 2020 project. By the way, let me also add that by signing the pact, you have the opportunity also to be involved in the creation of partnership to apply to EU funding for the implementation of the food policies. So it's another reason for inviting you to sign the pact. And maybe at the very beginning, Elisa, if you just want to tell us a little bit about the consortium of food trails, I think it will give to our participants a little bit of insight on how also we work through funded project. Thank you.
Thank you, Filippo, and thank you all for the attention that you will give to the presentation. I'm very glad to be here to present today about the efforts that we have been building with the Food Trails project. As Filippo said, it is funded by the European Union fundings, and specifically they are fundings for research project. So the interesting aspect of this project is also the scientific partners support to cities. But let's deep dive into. Just as a brief context about where we are and what we act on. As you heard, the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact is very active in the different regions in the world and also in Europe. As you see, there are around 100 cities that signed the pact. And they are also working with the local network of cities that is called Eurocities. It is an association. And the three main goals of the most active cities in this group are, of course, to meet and exchange knowledge, to make advocacy toward institutions of the European Union, and also, of course, build partnership and consortium to get fundings from the European Union. And this is the case. And of course, here I wanted to show you a bit meetings that have been happening in the last years, since 2016, when the group was funded, and then in the years later, there were many occasions to reflect all together on significant topics. And this is, again, the cities that are part of Eurocities and that signed the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. And thanks to this collaboration, we built the Food Trails project. Food Trails is a 12 million euro project that is gonna last again for 1 year, but the overall period of time was 4 years. And as you can see in the map, 11 cities are the core of this project. Milan is coordinating it, but we, as you see, have many cities from many different contexts, from France, from United Kingdom, from Poland, etc. We are supported by 3 universities that are they are front-runner universities on food system issues. And we also have 5 international partners that are here again to support the development of cities' activities that are in the end the development of food policies. But to build a strong food policy, we have to go through different steps. And the tools that I'm going to present you are extremely useful to build this path. So we start from the development of a living lab. What do we mean by living lab? Living lab is a name and is a concept to gather stakeholders that are extremely relevant to a city or to a local authority, even a metropolitan one or a regional one. So the idea is to create this living laboratory where the object of the laboratory are people. They are the stakeholders that can be involved into thinking and co-developing solutions, and in the end that can also give important feedbacks to the cities to build their own food policy. A first tool that we developed in the project is the stakeholder analysis tool, because in order to, let's say, analyze and organize the Living Lab stakeholders, it is important to really have some visualization tools. And here you can see in a very small frame, but we are available and more than willing to share even the PDF of these tools. And in this case, it is really the role of the tool is to understand also who are the most important stakeholders among the large environment that a city can have, who are the most significant ones. And this is gonna be made via two tools, as you can see here. The stakeholder ecosystem map, that is basically a target in which we divide the stakeholders based on their kind. So if they are from the public sector, if they are civil society, if they are research bodies, or if they are from the private sector. And we try to collocate them at the center if they are very important for us to develop solutions, or at the, let's say, in the outer part of the target if they are less important. And the other tool is the power interest matrix. And yeah, maybe I can show you a bit larger here. So as I was saying, in the target, the idea is to put at the very center those who are more interesting for us. Instead, with the tool on the right part of the slide, we try to analyze if a stakeholder is how much they are interested in the co-development of solutions and how much power do they have. In this way, analyzing these two factors, we can understand among the environment of stakeholders those who are that can give the biggest help to the city to develop solutions. And we have been doing this with all the 11 cities in the project. We did it also as Milan, and it has been extremely, extremely useful. This is the stakeholder analysis, but the stakeholder analysis is part of a bigger tool. So the Food Policy Action Canvas. This is a tool that was developed by the University Polytechnic of Milan, and they developed this Canvas based and reminding of the business model Canvas that you may have heard. And in this case, you can see that the tool is divided in different sections, and the colors are meant to guide those who work on the Canvas in the order of filling out the different sections. So in a Canvas that is a tool to co-create a solution, we have as a first goal, we have to identify a value proposition. So what is the key issue that we want to work on with our solution? And then, of course, we have to define the key stakeholders and the key beneficiaries. And when we look at the key stakeholders, so the blue rectangle on the left side, that's the in-depth analysis that we did with the other tools. So combining these two tools that we developed with the project, we are now able to not only know who the stakeholders that we are working with are, how power they have to help us, and then together with these selected stakeholders, we then reflect on who are the beneficiaries, what is the list of activities that we have to carry out to develop the action, where we get the resources, and which are the channels and which are the beneficiaries relationships. So which are the interconnection between stakeholders and beneficiaries, and of course, a reflection about the barriers, so the obstacles that we might encounter, as well as the drivers, so the enabling factors that we can have in the development. So to show you, this is the tool when it's empty. It can be printed, it can be used in online tools. There are these empty spaces that each city in let's say in a workshop can fill out with their stakeholders. And actually to create a link with the next presentation, this is something that happened in Seberang Perai, and we will hear more in just a few minutes. But for them, we developed this poster, and Filippo was also part of this process and was in person to guide this process, where you can see in the corner the stakeholder analysis tool, so the target of the stakeholder ecosystem map, as well as the power interest matrix, and then the food policy action canvas. So in this case, there were two, because this is a tool that can be used to develop as many actions as a city might need. And of course, in this tool, also the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact recommended actions were present, as well as the understanding of the infrastructures present in a city and the commitment, both from a political point of view and from a technical point of view. So which are the departments involved in the development of new actions, and of course of the local food policy or food strategy. So I hope that these tools can be an inspiration for you all, and in case you want to know more, I'm more than available. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elisa. As you mentioned, this canvas has been implemented for the cities in the consortium, and also I can say that we had a lot of benefit by implementing it also in and for the city of Milan. Then we have implemented also in other contexts and in other region of the world, starting from Bangkok, and also in Seberang Perai. They ask for support to us, to the Milan Pact Secretariat, and of course, as a signatory city of the Milan Pact, we decided to give them full support. So we went there last December, and we support them in the implementation of what Elisa just mentioned. So without further ado, I am very happy to give the floor to Mr. Chu Eng Sang, which is Assistant Veterinary Officer of the Urban Service Department of the Seberang Perai City Council. It's a pleasure for us to see what you achieved some months ago in Seberang Perai. So, Mr. Chu, over to you.
So, kindly share the link at the slide presentations.
Yeah, we are going to share it now. You can start.
Seberang Perai, it is indeed honor to be signatory member of the MUFPP, and indeed happy to be invited to share our action plan. Next. So we have our team, innovative, healthy, green community and institutions. Our objective is to accelerate and upscaling urban farming, sustainability, food system, and fight against waste. These are the pictures in our rooftop garden in our city tower. Next, please. Next slide, please. So we are indeed happy to have Mr. Filippo to visit Seberang Perai on the 19th December, the year 2022, to help us to prepare our sustainable urban food system. Next slide, please. So our components consist of ensuring and enabling environment for effective actions and governance. Next one, the food productions, food waste, education, and sustainable diets and nutrition. It is a live document and subject to improvement from time to time by the committee. Next slide, please. So for ensuring enabling government environment for effective actions, governments, number one, we facilitate cooperation across city agencies and departments. We establish local action 21 working committee headed by the city councillor to plan, implement, evaluate, and monitor action plan. We have in the group of institutions, non-government organizations, community leaders, industry in our working committee. Number two, enhance stakeholder participations, innovations, and empowerment of community. We develop and capture volunteer skills and interests, encourage corporate social responsibility partnerships, and create a searchable database of interested community consultants and professionals. And the picture shows that we had an industry providing training for the NGO to develop their urban farming system. Next slide, please. Number three, identify, map, and evaluate local initiatives. We promote individual home farming and composting. Up to now, we have more than 200 individual home composting in Seberang Perai. Utilizing open space within community hall for community farming. Now we have 26. Encourage community-based organizations to apply unused working land for community farming, and this is ongoing. And promote ideal land for farming, and state government give incentive for these type of farmers and encourage them they are exempted from land tax. Evaluation and monitoring while digitizations. Next, please. We develop and devise urban food policy and plans. Formulate guidelines for application to use public vacant land for urban farming, and this guideline was approved last year. And preserving mango forests by planting more trees for fishery. We have the state government has gazetted 636 mango swamps, 636 hectares mango swamp for as a permanent reserve forest. You see the photograph, Mr. Filippo also participated in the mango planting last year. We developed and improved multi-sectorial implementations system, present of monitoring, evaluation of mechanism for assembling and analyze urban food system data, and inform city policy making on urban food policy. And next, number 6 is appreciate for successful home and community farming. Award appreciation of active involvement in home, community, and private sector. We plan to give appreciation next year. For food production, number 1, promote and strengthening urban and pre-urban food production. Department of Agriculture to assist in funding. Every 21 working committee shall actively engage training in dividing land, watering, caring of plants, harvesting, and marketing. Number 2, apply ecosystem approach to guide holistic and integrated land use, planning and management, strategy to enhance opportunity for agroecological productions, conservation of biodiversity, climate change adaptation, and ecotourism. In fact, we have one working committee on biodiversity. Campaign to phase out the use of agrochemical in the form of pesticides, herbicides, insecticide, fungicide, and others. In fact, we have our own farm at Padang Cempaka and also 16 floor practicing organic farming. Farmers use more chemicals and fertilizer will lead to erosions and ultimately land spoilage. Number 3, next slide please. HUB provides services to food production in around city, technical training and seeding, financial support for farming and composting. We have every month we have one training for the community. Number 4, support short food change, promoting local markets by linking producer with consumers to achieve sustainability of food industry. We have one community market every second Sunday. Number 5, promote the use of urban organic waste collected in agriculture production through policy and participatory approach. In fact, City Council of Seberang Perai has 5 compost machines to compose market waste to be distributed to the veggie farmers. For food waste, next slide. Food waste, convene food system actors to assess and monitor food losses and waste reduction. We engage veggie wholesalers and institutions to be strategic partners. In fact, we have the Penang Veggie Table Planter Association to be our partner. For a start, we have 50 veggie farmers joining our initiative. Number 2, raise awareness of food loss and waste. Prepare promotional information such as leaflet, booklet, poster for distribution to school and community. We have produced one organic booklet for distributions. Collaborate with private sector along with research, education, and community for organization. Explore potential investors for composting, bacterial fly breeding, and anaerobic digestion. We believe in waste to protein, waste to energy, waste to compost. In fact, for bacterial fly, we have 2 industry doing the job, and we also have vermicompost. Next slide, please. Number 4, save food by facilitating decouling and redistribution of for human consumption and safe for healthy food. Engage by the sector, NGO to be strategic partners. This is the process. In fact, the Penang State government, they have the food bank. We are not actively involved in this process. Number 5, efficient use of resources, improve waste management and reuse, introduce appropriate technology to enhance the use of natural resources. Number 6, cooperate with Penang Green Council in raising awareness on consumption of food per person and manage food waste. When we prepare promotional information such as leaflet, booklet, poster for distribution to public and in VLOG competition for food waste. This will be carried out in the month of April for the school children. For education, next slide. For education, we promote participatory education training and research. Appointment of community trainers is ongoing, and in fact, we have 5 trainers now. Number 2, public and private partnership in the establishing community training center engaging private sector, NGOs, and institutions to assist in setting up community education center. And we have now 3 education centers set up by the private sector to help us to promote the urban farming. Next slide. Number 3, produce young farming trainers among school children. Appoint trainers from schools. Number 4, promote one school, one eco-farming. Explore school team to join the program. For this year, we have 83 schools joining our eco-food eco-farming. We have 83 now. For sustainable diets and nutrition, we promote sustainable diets, education, and communications. Prepare sustainable diet menu and for school and children. Number 2, select institution as a pilot project, school canteen, explore school team to join the program. Number 3, promote sustainable diet, education, and communication through social media. In fact, Mr. Filippo visited Butler Common Secondary School and talked to the principal, and now the school started to implement the Healthy Life program for secondary school. We have 2 primary schools joining the campaign. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih, Mr. Chu. I'm so happy that things in Seberang Perai are moving faster after our joint work last December. So I'm very happy. And you gave a very tangible example on how the implementation of stakeholder through the food trace action canvas has been important for arriving at the approval of your food strategy. So thank you so much. I think we have quite a few number of questions in the chat to everyone, to all the speakers. But before that, I kindly ask you to switch on your camera and for the family picture. So if you can switch on your camera, we will very quickly do some screenshot for family picture. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone. So let's now move to the Q&A session. And let's start with the 2 questions for Pius. We have 2 questions for you. The first one is, would you mind elaborate a bit about the content of the Bandung Smart City book? This is the first one. And the second one, it's, I'm Rusi from Brunei. I'm very interested in Pius, if Pius can elaborate more on what kind of intervention are being done in Healthy School Canteen pilot. Thank you. So over to you, Pius, for answering these 2 questions.
Yeah, thank you very much for the questions that concerning the questions. First question is concerning the books, yeah. So as I have a very short explain that we produce the book, yeah, that those 3 books are actually based on research, yeah, because we make a kind of research. The first research is concerning the consumption behavior. So our first book actually is as the result of the consumption behavior, especially in Bandung City. So we made the research and survey in the city of Bandung that we have 30 what we call it sub-district. Yeah, district is the city, and the sub-district we have 30 sub-district, and we have around 500 respondents that we ask them by sending the questionnaire. So the result of the, let's say the conclusion of the research, the first research, is that most of the middle class people in the city of Bandung tend to, let's say, consume a lot of food, and then they throw away the rest. Yeah, and this is the behavior. So the behavior in consuming the food. Yeah, so this is our first book, and the second book is the result of our second research that we also explore the production. Yeah, especially the production is not coming from the urban farming, but the production of food coming from, for example, like the restaurant, and then also hotel and the bakery. Yeah. So my question is, do they proceed the waste? Yeah. So most of the food production, especially from the hotel and restaurant, also the bakery, do not, let's say, manage to not make do not proceed the waste. Yeah. And but on the other side, there is a positive side from them, that actually they are willing to, let's say, to manage the waste. Yeah. So I think this is a very good information from them. And then the question is how to continue, how to follow up. And the third book is concerning the, let's say, about the research of developing a sustainable food security in the city. So we make a kind of some research, especially the urban farming, yeah, the buruansai, the effectiveness of buruansai, also the supply chains, yeah, and also about the media. Okay, this is the book. So if you want, then maybe I will try to find the PDF. Then if you need, then we can share this PDF through MUFPP through Filippo Oser, and I will send it to you. And the second one is coming from Mr. Rusi from Brunei, concerning the intervention of healthy school canteen. Yeah, so this is still a really early piloting, so that I am together with my team try to give the information, the socialization, what kind of school canteen, how to manage school canteen. I think this is very important and a big issue now I think in Indonesia, especially in the elementary school, that the school cannot provide, let's say, the nutritious food and the healthy canteen, especially in the environment, the sanitary, and so on. So I think this is our concern, and still having a kind of project or working, which is supported by the Ricolto, and of course the idea is also supported by MUFPP from Filippo in order to support how to let's say, to intervene the good idea in order to provide the healthy school, canteen school. Thank you very much for this.
Terima kasih, Pak Pius. So about the healthy school canteen, it's quite a very important focus also for the Milan Pact. As Pak Pius mentioned, it's I think it's the most powerful lever that public administrations have to provide at least one healthy and nutritious food to every day to all the students. So there are many cities that, starting from the city of Milan, that are implementing comprehensive school meal services, and the focus of next year of the next year of the Milan Pact is supporting signatory cities to develop pilot and feasibility studies to start school feeding programs. So once again, if you are interested to work on this, reach us out. It will be our main concern of the next year.
Filippo, may I add something, just a very short, concerning the
Suja.
school canteen that we are discussing about the school the healthy school canteen, and one of the significant issue or problem or challenge is concerning the policy. So I think we have a difficulties to, let's say, to find the support from the government, the local government, especially the policy, in order to push the school to make the healthy canteen, and then it is very difficult. And now we try to, let's say, we have no, maybe perhaps there is no strong organization to support the school canteen, but we try it. But as I have already said, that we need the umbrella, the legal umbrella for school canteen in order to push the the school, the head of the school, for example, to provide the healthy school canteen. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed, this is quite an issue, and we saw it also last year with when we visit the school in Seberang Perai, just that Mr. Chu just mentioned. This is an important point, and this point refers to the content of the previous webinar. Indeed, it was like the multi-level governance, so it's how is important to involve all the level of the government in the adoption and implementation of the food strategy. And this is a very good example that you raise, Papius, because you need, let's say, the national government on your side if you want to, let's say, have a systemic school feeding program in your city. That's why through this webinar we are trying to give you some, let's say, important tools to put together in order to be successful in the implementation of a healthy and sustainable food strategy. But we will work also on this, let's say, in the involvement of the national government next year in the implementation of school feeding program through national dialogues. So, for example, in the case of Indonesia, we will organize a national dialogue among the cities that signed the pact and the Health and Education Ministry. So let's stay tuned, but thank you for raising this point. Okay, so let's now move to a question for Elisa Borreca coming from Chiang Mai Municipality. Hello, everyone. You are many colleagues that we see from the city of Chiang Mai every webinar, so thank you so much. The question is, how long does it take to fill the tool of the canvas for a city?
Again, thank you, and thank you for the question. Let's say that it may depend on how you want to carry out the activity, but basically 2 workshops would be, let's say, the minimum to fill out the tools, having a comprehensive understanding so that the city representatives can be present at both moments. But I think that a couple of hours for the stakeholder analysis and the same for the Canva are a good starting point. But of course, they are tools that needs revisions and even every time more deep understanding. So take your time, but yeah, a couple of workshops should be good. And I think that Seberang Perai has also experimented that and can tell you more.
Thank you, Elisa. Of course, colleagues from Chiang Mai, if you are interested, do reach us out for, let's say, for applying as we did in Seberang Perai, the Food Policy Action Canvas. So please, you're a signatory city, so happy to give support. Okay, let's now move to questions for Mr. Chu from Pa Nanang from Bandung. Would you like to let us know your anaerobic digestion model to reduce food waste? And we have another question from Siti Hawa. Would you mind to elaborate more on food safe food initiative as well as healthy diets? Any plans to extend also this to adults? Because most adults are the ones with poor diets and various illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on. Over to you, Mr. Chu.
For the anaerobic digestion, we have one AD plant going to be operational using animal waste. Will be operational in February next year. Produce 1 megawatt of electricity per hour. This is for animal waste. For food waste, for AD program, we shall have it in the year by the year 2026, 3 years from now. Is in the planning stage. It will be the private initiative and the city council facility. For the healthy diet, we are talking about healthy diet. We must have a balance of nutrition, carbohydrate, protein, fruits, and in fact, the Ministry of Health Malaysia, they have a guidelines for people to practice, implement. But the problem is the people are not so concerned with the health. And I think next year we will have engagement from the restaurants who wish to participate. And then we have a campaign for them. Those who have like the healthy diet, please choose the particular restaurants. Then it's easy to implement. Okay, thank you. These are my ideas.
Terima kasih, Mr. Chu. Any other questions from the audience? Okay. So there was another questions about. Okay, that's great. So there was another question from the public, from the audience. So member of the membership, let's say, of the pact, does it is limited to only one city or town per country, or can it be several different cities from different region or countries? So that's an important question, and we welcome all the cities of the Milan Pact, also if they are in the same region or in the same country. And the only, let's say, threshold is having more than around 100,000 inhabitants. But we have no limitation for having cities from the same region or the same country in the Milan Pact. Let me just share this final slide about signing the pact, which is this one. Okay. So as I mentioned, to sign the pact is a very easy process. What is needed is a letter of subscription signed by the mayor, and then the appointment of a focal point within the administration that will be the focal point with which we will interact. And for example, we from Seberang Perai, we have as a focal point Mr. Chu, and it will be the person that will exchange, let's say, information for the city. Once you sign the pact, you will have full access to our library of knowledge of best practices, and also get the support from the MUFPP Secretariat for what you need. We have seen the good experience of Bandung, of Bangkok, and of Seberang Perai today. We are basically a community of practices, so we share best practices from one city to another, and we support towards your objective in food system transformation. Finally, there are no needs at any stage to sign the pact or to participate in our training or event, regional forum or global forum. So if you want to know more, you can write to the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact Secretariat at the email that you can see in the slide. We are organizing now the next webinar of this series, and it will be devoted to now that we have gathered some let's say the main pillars of the food policy action for a city. So the development of a strategy with a multi-stakeholder approach and a multi-level governance. We see it also today. We will deep dive into a specific issue of the food strategy, which is providing healthy and sustainable food to our citizens. So you will receive more information about this next webinar while we are sending you all the presentation and all the and the recording. So I think we are, if there are no more questions in this slide, let me see, maybe City Road. Thank you, Team Milan, Bandung, and Seberang Perai. Good to know initiatives going on in this respect. I will definitely relay this information to my network, University of Science Malaysia, Academy of Science in Malaysia, to reach out the teams of the Seberang Perai Council and Milan, of course, yeah. As our team is looking at initiative towards healthy aging, towards smart cities via artificial intelligence. Thank you for the webinar. Okay, thank you so much. So let then close. Oh no, I think there's another question, sorry. A healthy food system is another word for a sustainable food system where subsystem must run well. It all starts from the production subsystem to produce a good nutritional status. Are the food system initiatives in all Milan Pact member cities always evaluated? What about the state of food sovereignty and independence in each city? Okay, thank you for the question. So yeah, each city can self-assess and self-evaluate the impact of their practices through the monitoring framework that we have developed together with FAO. And is a set of 44 indicators that directly connect the 37 recommended action of the Milan Pact towards the SDGs. In this case, for example, for the case that we are discussing today, the most relevant SDGs will be number 17, partnerships. And it will be useful because you can actually assess the impact of your strategy. We will send you the presentation, and in the presentation there is the QR code to download this monitoring framework. The monitoring framework is also used in the action canvas that Elisa shared. We have many practices in the Milan-MUFPP Awards also connected to food sovereignty and independence. And you will find more in the Milan-MUFPP Awards report that again you can download in the slide. We have many also in Asia Pacific. We just last week we were involved in a discussion with a city from Argentina that is organizing a fair fully dedicated to food sovereignty. So if you want to know more, again, please download the report, and if you have any other questions, please reach us out. Okay, so let me, in order to conclude this webinar, let me thank all the participants and the speakers, of course, Pius Gang-Prasetyo, Elisa Porreca, Chu Ang Seng, of course, the Milan-MUFPP Secretariat, the ASEAN Health Sector, and Bulina, thank you so much, and the ASEAN Secretariat through the Health Division for having co-organized this webinar. Have a good day and see you very soon.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Elisa.
Bye-bye.
Great.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.